Welcome back to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host Mark and happy New Year's Eve. This is my top 10 niche high-end designer or indie colognes to ring in the new year for 2024. These are only suggestions. I just went through my fragrances and kind of decided, pick some randoms and see where we go. I like to try to flip things around, try to have some for older gentlemen, newer one, unisex based fragrances, all kinds. Now, obviously, just letting you know, New Year's, big decision as far as fragrance goes. Definitely take these kind of videos with a grain of salt. I feel like this is one of those that it's just the fragrance to wear, very personally for this one. You can go, go with the whole thing of New Year's and have a boozy fragrance, to a warm, comforting one, to a really loud, shouting one, to a quiet one, to basically a fragrance that's very upscale. So it all depends on where you're going, who you're with, if you're with no one, are you staying in, things like that. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at my 10. I tried to go with older. It's not really nothing new as far as 2023. I think that's just a gimmick for fragrance reviewers. So let's start it off with Angel's Share by Kilian. And by Kilian, this is my this is my gimmicky, very I'd say very popular choice. A lot of these won't be so popular, and I just pre-sprayed on a strip. So Angel's Share is again by Kilian. I have my by Kilian collection over here, and I could have chose any one of those. I was thinking Back to Black. I was thinking a lot of them actually, for their booziness, their gourmandish. By Kilian's actually a really good choice for a brand. This one's fairly new, 2020 release, but of course known for its cognac note, but a lot of the cinnamon and the gourmand notes, the vanillic tendencies in this fragrance really make this what it is. And it's basically a very versatile fragrance and great for New Year's Eve. I've tried to ignore the boozy scents in the designer list. I didn't add like a pure malt or something like that in my list. It's just basically an easy pick when I'm picking something boozy for New Year's Eve. Everybody thinks about that. But we're gonna start this off with a boozy scent. What Angel's Share gives me is warmth. It gives me an ambery glow. It gives me some spices, some vanillic tendencies. It just gives me a holiday season vibe, personally, not something crazy, maybe better for Christmas time, but personally for me, I'd rather go with something actually a little more boozy, a little stronger, a little harder, something from, what's the boozy one that I like? Oh, Established Cognac by Kriegler. Hands down beats this thing, but it's more niche, it's more indie. It's really emphasizing the cognac part. This is less that. Reviewers want to let you know booziness, but honestly, there's a lot of ambery glow here, cinnamon, vanillic tendencies, things like that. So much more people pleasing, and will work well at New Year's Eve application. Basically, this thing is easy to throw on for New Year's Eve. You go with new niche heads that like gourmand scents will wear this to, this is highly unisex, so male or female can wear it. Very versatile to wear set. You dress it up, dress it down. You need one of these in your collection, and I guess you need one of these in your top 10. But let's move on to a designer brand, but their high-end brand, and this is Effin' Fabulous. Now, this has this received a lot of hate from the brand, and 2017 release, so it's been around the block now, and it's all all the press is about the name. And honestly, very tame fragrance, very classy fragrance for such a crash name, crass name, Crash Bandicoot. Leather, almond, tonka, lavender. It has all the properties to be classy, and it has all the properties to be clean. Lavender helps out that cleanliness, but the leather is very soft in this release, so it kind of gives it a little bit of a bad boy vibe, but it's really deep down there. The more time passes that I have this bottle and I wear it, the more I love the scent from Tom Ford. And it's a gray scent, it's a white scent. This is for, you know, those black parties or the white parties. This would be perfect for that. Suits, tuxedos. This scent smells clean, upscale, powdery, creamy. The lavender, the almond, the tonka bean mixes so well. There's an iris in here that's sneakily good with a light leather note. It has surprisingly good performance for such a fragrance that's so gray. It doesn't really have any big bold notes in it in regards to something that has a lot of texture to it, but it's one of those that it'll bring people closer to you. I love this one. It really, especially for a high upscale event, you know, a white button down shirt, you know, a nice tie, boom, effing fabulous. I think it's a good party piece too. Like, people are saying, oh, you smell good, what's the name of your fragrance? Depending on the person, I guess, but this is classy. It's not for clubbing. This is for the person that has is classy but has a little bit of crass to them, we'll say. The kind of person that isn't ashamed to say the actual name of the fragrance. That's where this one stands. Now, number 8, the House of Guerlain, and they have 2 fragrances in this list, and this is Derby, and this is for the gentleman out there, the older gentleman out there, a younger gentleman with great taste. Derby is, unfortunately, this line has been axed, but Derby, 2012 re-release. The great thing about this, it utilizes a floral carnation, which is a note that is hardly utilized now. It has leather, it has some spices, it has some woods in this. But this is for my older gentleman out there, and it's leathery, spicy with a great carnation note. The carnation really pops in this. You can't miss it. It has some citruses up top. So a very formal, classical DNA, but well blended. An 80s scent. This is for New Year's Eve for a man that's already married, enjoys the finer things in life, going for a nice meal and a glass of wine, nothing too crazy. You can go with Woods Portugal here from Creed, or perhaps Egoist from Chanel, or you know, a classic Hermes release, maybe Heritage, something like that. There's tons of greats that are around this kind of blend, but this is my choice in regards to this list. A solid scent for a quiet night out with your loved one. Basically, Derby is excellent at number 8. At number 7, we're gonna go with another floral type fragrance. I'm not saying that Derby's floral, but the carnation's there. And this one is Rose Poivrée. And you can tell that my juice is the old school juice because it has that orange glow. The new stuff doesn't, unfortunately. Now, this stuff has been reformulated. Unfortunately, I'm happy I have the original version because it is outstanding. It's much more animalic. I don't know what's with these brands that kind of remove the, pardon my French, the balls out of fragrances, but Rose Poivrée by the Different Company. This is a brand that hardly gets a no free bottle brigade here, but the Different Company is one that I absolutely love. Jean-Claude Guerlain started this brand. He was a founder before he actually moved on to Hermes, and he is the nose behind this. He did some of the early releases for Different Company, not the newer ones. But the big note in here is rose, but it also has, obviously with the name Poivrée means peppered rose, and black peppers in here, but civette's in here. Imagine that. So, imagine a civet-based fragrance by Jean-Claude Guerlain. And I'm not saying it's based by it, but it has such a big role with the rose. It makes the rose dirty, but the rose is the star of the show. It smells like classic rose bushes. I'm imagining a bathtub, bathtub with full of rose petals. I mean hundreds, maybe thousands on the floor, all that. You can smell that scent profile of roses. It's so huge in here. And it's a watery rose petal. That's all you're getting out of this. And it's the best classical rose note that I've smelt in my lifetime. The civet and black pepper just make it even more my speed just because it dirties it up, it mans it up a bit. It's not just a female rose-based fragrance. Not saying that rose is female-based because there's tons of great male roses, but you know, Rose 31 from Le Labo back in the day used to get lots of love because it was a spicy rose and it was more masculine. This is much better than that. But it also has sensual touches to it because it has animalics in it. That animalic funk is what you want for New Year's Eve, at least for me a little bit. I kind of want that dirtiness a little bit. And this may be for the person that just wants to stay in, has candles, rose petal bath going, wine, and doesn't give an F what anybody thinks. They don't need anybody. They don't want to go out. They're tired of it. But they smell amazing. This would smell crazy good on a woman. Like, I can't even think how good this would be on a woman. I wear this as much as I can. I've put a dent in it, but every time I wear this, and with a collection like this, you get these kind of scents that kind of get lost in the shuffle. Like the different companies, not a sexy brand. It's not a brand that, you know, eventually you're just like, oh yeah, I haven't worn anything from a different company for a while. And you pick this up and you're like, oh man, Elena did his thing here. Perhaps one of his best creations. I'm not kidding. This stuff, every time I smell it, and I'm just reminding myself right now today on how good this is at number 7. I do have a full-fledged review. I don't have full-fledged reviews on a lot of fragrances that I discover here or I talk about, but I do have one on this one, and this is a 10. This is I don't say that often. This is an excellent, excellent, best-in-class rose right here from the different company. At number 6, this is a gourmand fragrance with a little edge to it from the house of Guerlain. This is from L'Art et la Matière, the old school line, back when they had these bottles. This is Myrrhe Délires, and Myrrhe Délires, a forgotten L'Art et la Matière 2005 release. Wasser, of course, was the nose behind this. Myrrhe, licorice, tonka, incense, vanilla in here. So it has that L'Art et la Matière, like the old school L'Art et la Matière, like Cuir Beluga, Tonka Impérial, Spiritueuse Double Vanille, Angélique Noir. They all have this vanillic tendency, ambery glow, and this one also has it, but it also has warmth to it. It has some spices. It has a citrusy edge to it as well up top, but it's a balsamic ambery sweet thing with some warmth and some spices. What I love about these old school L'Art et la Matière lines is that they last on skin for me. They're warm, they're comforting, they're easy to wear. They have this vanillic touch that really just it just hits me the right way. It's not a super synthetic. It's that Guerlain vanilla that's absolutely no brand can touch. But it also has an herbal, smoky myrrh incense notes, a licorice note in here that kind of changes things a little bit. It has a great contrast of gourmand notes and more edgy, darker notes in here, but the gourmand notes obviously win because it's a L'Art et la Matière, but the darker notes are in the back end. I'm really vying for your attention. Highly unisex. This can, you know, like what I'm saying about this can kill on a woman, this can kill on a woman, especially because it's a dark vanillic scent, ambery. And for a man, it's for a man that likes his gourmands but doesn't want to go full sweet at this point. Dressed up in a suit for New Year's Eve wearing this. This has date night written all over it. Honestly, one of the better releases. Again, I feel like some of these start getting redundant in this line because they all have this ambery glow to them. They all have something to offer personally, so I understand why they axed this one, but a really good one. Myrrhe Délires, a fragrance that I still have quite a bit left in it, and one that I really, really enjoy. Myrrhe Délires at number 6. At number 5, let's go a little more animalic here. L'Artisan Parfumeur, talking about forgotten brands on YouTube. L'Artisan Parfumeur, a great brand. This one was released back Dzing in 1999, possibly I think the best from the brand. It has leather musk, a caramel note, some woods. It really portrays, and it has this circus woman basically grappling a tiger basically, and the picture on my bottle, because the new bottles don't have pictures like this, but this one, the picture depicts this thing perfectly. Animalic, you know, caramel popcorn. The blending in this fragrance is possibly some of the best I've smelt. This could be the best of the brand, like T for Two's up there, Timbuktu's up there, but For my taste, I really think like the complexity in this release and the blending is right up there. It has a tiny trace of animalic leather. There's a sweet caramel note in here. There's some musks in here. There's woods, spices. It's warm, it's cozy, it's inviting. And people say they smell like straw in here. They smell animalics, even some sweat at some point. I don't think it's that animalic personally. Like, I feel like fans of Chergui, because of the straw note, fans of Muscat Ravageur, you're gonna swoon over the scent. This is right up your alley. So if you like those, but yeah, you just haven't discovered Dzing, this is right up there with those two as far as complexity goes and warmth. New Year's Eve needs a little funk, and this supplies some of that. Just this one up, just this one down, doesn't matter. What a great set. Like, again, these lists kind of really make me feel like, oh my God, like I haven't really put a big dent on Dzing, and I should wear this way more often. It is an excellent scent at number 5. All right, at number 4, we're gonna go with a little more for this generation. I feel like I'm dating myself with releases like these, older releases. So we're gonna go with something a little more new, and this is Amouage Interlude Black Iris. And I chose this one instead of my original Interlude. First of all, this was a 2023 purchase for me, so one of my best purchases for 2023. I gotta do that video. Comment below if you want to see that one. I think that would be a good video of all my unboxings that I did in 2023, which ones were the best. So Interlude Black Iris, 2020, so it's this generation. You guys will be happy. The new generation in regards to adding this. Negrin is the nose, obviously the original nose of Interlude. The Orris is what makes this, the Iris note makes this, why this is so high and made this list instead of the original Blue Beast. But it also has that original DNA that's toned down. You need a little classy Iris in your repertoire, especially for New Year's Eve. I think Iris is really good, depending, you know, if you're going out clubbing, probably not, but at my age, it's like more classy, more dressed up things, and maybe dressed down, but Iris does that. And this is the type of scent that I like in the back end. It's a real scent head that needs something to grasp on, and the original Interlude DNA is there for me to grasp, but also has a little classy element to it. You can wear this with a suit and not smell out of place, but you still have that itch that a real fragrance head needs. Beautiful scent that blends mystery, which dark mystery based fragrances, and what I mean by that, it brings people closer and they really want to know and dissect a fragrance, like me, that love scents that just go, oh, what is that? What is that blend? And it's very unique, but it also has a touch of class with the Iris in it. Gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance from Amouage that Strip doesn't want to leave. See you later. At number 4. At number 3, we're gonna go kind of like the by Kilian. Here's something that's a little more popular, and there's no, you know, there's no hate in regards to using popular fragrances. They're popular for a reason. This is Grand Soir. I could have went with Ciel de Gomme, honestly, from this line, just to flex a little bit, but we'll go with Grand Soir. Grand Soir, an older release, 2016, at least to this generation. Francis K is the nose behind this, but this is your ambery vanilla benzoin type of thing. And this is like Angel's Share from by Kilian on this list. Just your mainstream entry in my list. I don't know if I prefer Ciel de Gomme over this, but it's pretty close. But this is just the name Grand Soir, big night. The imagery of that for New Year's Eve is just perfect, and the scent itself is perfect for it. If you like dark, syrupy, ambery, sweet, vanillic, balsamic, sticky benzoin, this is you. You have a sweet tooth. Performance is not an issue with this release. This would be my more party out type thing if I'm going out. Highly unisex, dress it up, dress it down. This is a staple amber, basically. Nothing much to think about, just wear it and it will work for you. Grand Soir, absolutely love it. At number 2, we're getting to number 1 soon. This is from Frederic Malle, and this is The Moon. And I really wanted to add one of these, like dawn, moon, the night. Obviously, maybe the night would have been a better one, but moon, honestly, a 2019 release. Reskinette is the nose behind this. Excellent perfumier. This one is more of an oud, leathery, raspberry thing. So it has some fruity, sweet notes in it, but it also has oud in the back end. Oh, beautiful. Dress it up with a suit. Dress it down. This is more of a date night thing. You are, well, maybe you are a playboy with a lot of money. You'll wear this, but this is for the guy that has a lot of money, because it's not cheap. And this is the type of guy that I'm picturing goes on a private jet, spends New Year's in Dubai, high-end parties. You got tuxes, you got dresses, you got classical music, gold everything. You'll smell like $1 million with this one. Great performance. The raspberry opening is very red, beautiful, authentic, a warming base. Beautiful, beautiful blending here by Reskinette. And at number 2, we got the Moon. And at number 1, it is from the brand of Chanel, and this is from their exclusive lines, Le Lion. Le Lion de Chanel. And you might be saying, well, Mark, this is a niche list. Well, it's a high-end designer fragrance that you can't find everywhere. The Chanel boutiques might still be open. Go get your Le Lion now. 2020 release, a newer Chanel. The nose behind this, of course, in-house perfumier Pulge. Notes labdanum, amber, vanilla, patchouli, among others. This is starting the New Year's with a fragrance called Lion is perfect. Not only that, but it's from a high-end brand, from Chanel. So the imagery of class, the best in class, you are doing it here. This is possibly the best thing Chanel has done in a decade, maybe even more than a decade. I haven't been this excited from a Chanel release in a long time. Maybe when they were doing their exclusives, when they first started them out. You know, Cuir de Lucie, they were bringing some things back, Sycamore, among others. It's ambery, it's woody, it's musky, it's spicy, it's vanillic, it's warm, it's ambery, it's elegant. I think the build is all around this ambery glow. There's a bergamot opening. Like, the structure of this thing is outstanding. There's leathery touches in here. There's vanillic touches. The performance on this is top notch. It's not a yeller. It's not a screamer. Well, some people will say, you know, this thing's big, bold. It smells rich. And it's a great fragrance to wear to dress up. And you're not going too crazy outside of the borders. Like, this is a little crazy. This is a little crazy. Dzing. Even Interlude Black Art's a little crazy. These things have personality to them, right? This has that Chanel class that you come to expect, that they, you know, they're not gonna push down the borders a little bit. They want to stay in this little box of classy Chanel, but they've made this fragrance so well. It's got a really good patchouli note in here as well. Don't forget that. If you're a fan of fragrances like Musc Ravageur, to like a Grand Soir, because there's amber in here, to Chergui lovers, to fragrance heads that really like classical fragrances too. And basically, as a fragrance head, you would like this if you embrace complexity in fragrances and build. This is where Le Lion comes into play. I don't say this much in reviews, but this has classic, especially fragrances that are built in, what is this, 2020 build. I don't say too many of these recent releases, but I'm going to say this here. This has classic written all over it. I mean, it just is, it won't go out of style. You know, the style currently today, you know, there's fragrances that have a lot more personality than this. This takes a lot of some great notes, some classical notes and some modern notes, and builds it in a classical style that you can sense the textures, but you can feel the building blocks of this release. Le Lion, perfect name, perfect brand to start the year. I poo-poo a lot on Chanel, but You know me, I call them as they are. I can call Chanel out and say, Bleu de Chanel is all you've been releasing for us in the men's aisle, and I will call a spade, but at the same time, if you are going to make a les exclusifs release like Le Lion, I will tell you that this one was worth the wait. If we're waiting for releases, and this is what you're going to be churning out, 100%. And this is actually, I'll be honest, this might be my set of the night for New Year's Eve. Le Lion, perfect name, brand to start off the new year. And yeah, so hopefully you had fun with this list, you know, just random 10 fragrances that I decided that I felt like have different personalities to them, different edges to them, and I feel like they would be great for certain scenarios for New Year's Eve. So hopefully you enjoyed the list, and as always, you know, have a great night, and you know, enjoy yourself, not too much. Uncle Mark says so. And yeah, I'll see you in 2024. Thanks for watching. Merci beaucoup for all the support in 2023. I know my 1 year anniversary, I guess, for me returning on YouTube just went by. And I really enjoyed my year with all of you. Hopefully you enjoyed all the content. Merci beaucoup. Appreciate you. Love you. Have a good New Year's. See you later.